Hey you all, our objective for today is to list all possible zeros for polynomials using the Rational Zero Theorem. The Rational Zero Theorem says if p divided by q is a rational number written in lowest terms, and if p divided by q is a zero of the function, then p is a factor of the constant term and q is a factor of the leading coefficient. So let's look at an example. We want to consider this polynomial here, 6x to the fourth plus 7x cubed minus 12x squared minus 3x plus 2. We want to list all the possible zeros. So let's look at the solution to do that. First thing we want to do is identify the p and its factors. Remember what p is. In the polynomial, p is your constant term. Remember, the constant term is the last term in a polynomial. It does not have a variable next to it. In this case, it's 2. We want to list our factors of 2, which is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. Then we want to identify the q and its factors. Your q, it's always the leading coefficient. Well, the leading coefficient is attached to the term that has the highest exponent. So x to the fourth is the highest exponent here, and 6 is attached to it, therefore it is the leading coefficient. So you always look for the coefficient attached to the highest exponent, which is x to the fourth in this case. 6 is the leading coefficient. Then we want to list the factors of 6. Well, the factors of 6 is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 6. That's a positive and a negative. 3, we want to list all the possible zeros. When we list the possible zeros now, it has to be in the form p divided by q. So basically, we're just doing p divided by q. So 1 divided by 1, you're going to get plus or minus 1. 1 divided by 2, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 1/2. 1 divided by 3, the positive and the negative 1/3. 1 divided by 6, plus or minus 1/6. Then you do 2. 2 divided by 1, plus or minus 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We already have plus or minus 1, because remember, you have to put these fractions in lowest terms, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. We already have that, so we don't have to list it again. 2 divided by 3, plus or minus 2/3, and 2 divided by 6. When I simplify to 6, I get 1/3, and I already have it as part of my list.